Okay, everyone. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how to open up SPSS and then download some data. So when you click on SPSS, you should get two screens that pop up. One of them is going to be this welcome screen. We don't really need this. We're just going to go ahead and close that. And then what should be left over is this Excel type looking screen. This is your data set window. Now we don't have any data here at the moment. Let's go ahead and pull up some data. So we're going to go to Google and we're going to type in CCES. And if we scroll down, we come to the Cooperative Election Study. Click on that. And for the purpose of examples in classes, we're always going to download the CES 2020 data. Now, it's really important to remember that for the class sessions, we're going to need to download and save data on either a thumb drive, maybe on some kind of cloud that we have access to, or alternatively, you can always email yourself the data sets that you'll be working on and saving. So let's go ahead and click on the CES 2020 data. We're going to click Access Dataset. Notice here, these formats are zip formats. We can download this and the data will be here, but oftentimes these databases will also have individual options. We're going to use the .dta file. This file is always good to download. We can also download a .sav file that is not included in this database. So we're just going to stick with the DTA. So we're going to go over here, access file, and then download options, state of 14 binary. Okay, so it's about to finish downloading. Once it's done downloading, what you're going to do is you're going to select this. It might be different depending on the operating system that you're using or the browser that you're using, but you're going to find out you're going to need a way to open up the file in your file explorer. In this case, I'm just going to click on this arrow and click show in folder. If you're using a Mac, I think sometimes you can do the Finder program. What we have to do is we have to find a screen where we see the downloaded file. And then we're on the other side of the screen, we're going to have our variable window. And all I have to do is drag the data set onto the variable window. And now notice it's going to say down here, running gets data. So now it's downloading the data onto SPSS. Notice this, it also says it here in our data window. Now remember that there's two windows that we're going to be using. There's the data window that looks like Excel, and then there's this other window here called a workbook. Sometimes it's called the output file. It can be either or. Okay, and there we go. Let's come in. It's probably still taking a second to finish loading up. There we go. So we have, notice, remember that on the rows, we have the subjects, right? In this case, this data set is of individual American citizens. So each one of these rows is an individual person. And then on the top, we have the variables. So we can go through, and look at all these different variables for all these different people, okay? And remember, in this data set, there's 61,000 respondents. Now, on the bottom left corner, you'll see that there's two views in this data set window. There's the data view and the variable view. The data view, as you just saw, shows you the variables and the respondents. The variable view will show you more information about the variables. So here we have the name of the variable all the way on the left, and we have the label. The name gives you, it's an abbreviated way of referring to each variable. So for example, if you look here, variable 16 is the name of the variable is cc20 underscore hisp underscore 3. That doesn't really tell us what's going on in that variable, but if we look over at the label tells us specifically what's going on. This is asking people whether they're of Latin heritage, and if they are, whether they come from Mexico. The next variable, variable 17, is hisp underscore 4. If we look at label, it says Latin heritage, Puerto Rico. This is asking people whether they're, whether they're of Latin heritage, and then whether they're from Puerto Rico. Okay, so you have the name and label. Okay, and that should be the basic. That's the basic introduction to the SPSS screen. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to run frequency tables. Till then.